What's going on? Your boys are back. I am Matt. Dorian is on the other side of your screen. This is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast, the first one of the year. And something to point out right away, Dorian. This is year 3, man. We just now passed our 2 years yesterday. So real quick, how you been over the past few weeks since we've potted, and thoughts on starting year 3, man?
Yeah, man. So Christmas was good. Got to spend a little bit of time with the family, and a little bit too much time with the family is we had to have some in-laws stay because there was a power outage, so that was that was fun to say the least. But no, everything's been good, and just as far as starting the new year of the pod, man. It doesn't even feel like we've been doing it that long. I know we had the little stint in between, but yeah, to be at it this long, yeah, it's shoot, we just keep grinding, man. And I'm glad we found kind of that consistent flow to where we can keep pushing through, because I know that was a big thing early on as well.
Yeah, I think we were trying to do 2 times a week, like right after the fights on a Sunday and then like on a Wednesday too, which I mean, maybe it would work if like we didn't have jobs, but we both have jobs,
Right.
and like you have a family, dude. So it is tough, but we are looking forward to this new year, dude. So, real quick, just a rundown on how today show is going to work. We are going to talk about each division really quickly, just who we think the champion is going to be at the end of the year, maybe 1 or 2 people in between, the outlook of the division. And we are not going to spend a whole lot of time on that because we are going to jump into all the fight news, all the fights that have been announced since our last show. And that's quite a bit. It's been a few weeks, so we got something to run down. We'll put the pedal to the metal on that as well. And then we will be talking about this weekend's upcoming fights. It was Nasruddin Imavov versus Kelvin Gastelum. But Kelvin Gastelum looks like he has a staph infection on his face and a mouth injury. Let's not forget that staph infection. That looks disgusting. And now Nasruddin Imavov will be fighting Sean Strickland. So Sean Strickland, back-to-back main events, closing out the year and opening the new year. We will be talking about every fight on that card, prelims to main event, giving you our picks and our opinions on those fights. So, yeah, man, anything before we get started, dude?
Nah, man. Let's get to it.
All right, man. So I guess we'll just start like this at the weight classes themselves. Do you want to start at heavyweight, or do you want to start at down at women's, I guess, strawweight or flyweight?
We can start at heavyweight, because I'm not gonna lie, not going to have too much as far as up and comers in the women's division. So
All right, so starting at the heavyweight, dude. Just real quick, we don't know what's going to happen with Francis. I saw something like where January 20th we would find out if he re-signed or not, but it looks like, yeah, I've heard some news like he's interested in the PFL, because I could see PFL letting him go into box as well as fight MMA, and I know that's what Francis wants to do. So that being said, dude, I think by the end of 2023 that we are in now, dude, I think your heavyweight champion and my person to keep the eye on both, honestly, is probably going to be Sergey Pavlovich, man. The dude's been an absolute fucking wrecking ball, and if we don't see Francis come back, the dude's just destroyed every single person aside that one round against Alistair Overeem, because we don't know what's happening with John Jones. If John Jones does some way, shape, or form make an appearance this year, which I'm hopeful that he is, man. I'm a huge John Jones fan. You know that as well. I guess we're still not sure if he's going to come back, but that being said, if we have no Francis and no John Jones, I think Sergey Pavlovich this year is going to pretty much run the heavyweight division. What about you, man? How do you think the heavyweights go this year?
Yeah, man, Sergey is definitely a good pick. One that was kind of going through my mind, but man, I gotta say, setting it up the way you set up, with Francis, we don't know what's going on with him right now. Man, I gotta say that I think that Curtis Blaydes really has a chance to become the champ at the end of the year. I think Curtis Blaydes is he's really started to put it all together as of late, and he's really starting to take on any and everybody. And he's getting finishes along the way as well. Whether it be standing either knocking people out or get some pretty savage ground and pound. Everybody always goes back to the Alistair Overeem elbow that he nailed him with. And Curtis, he just seems to be putting it all together right now. Unfortunately, with the Aspinall result, we still want to see a little bit more, but I could see potentially a Curtis Blades and Sergey Pavlovich matchup to maybe decide who the next runner-up for the title is. And right now, I think Curtis Blades just has all the tools with the wrestling and the hands. And I think he's really going to have an opportunity. And I think if he gets a shot, I think he's going to be the champ by the end of the year.
I don't hate the pick, man, and I actually like the matchup. That I could for sure see that fight being for the heavyweight champion at some point this year, dude, because those dudes, fucking Sergey just crushes people in the first minute of every single fight, dude. And it's like, we haven't seen that since Francis. So putting 2 and 2 together, dude, he's probably going to continue to knock dudes out until he gets up to that championship fight. And hell, dude, he might even knock out Curtis Blades, because Curtis Blades has been knocked out by Francis and Derek Lewis, both huge power punchers, and Sergey has shown to have that. So let's move on down to the light heavyweight division, dude. Real quick, let me ask you this off the top. You think we see Yuri back this year or no?
If they're saying it's like a 6 to 9 month maybe recovery time or something like that, if that's the case, maybe to close out the year, I think there's a good chance that if he returns this year, it'll maybe be like the year-end card in December.
All right. That being said, if we get a Yuri this year, I say Yuri's probably the champion closing out the year, because he's for sure going to get that title fight when he does come back. But if we get no Yuri, dude, I got to go with Magomed Ankalaev. I think he's probably going to be the champion by the end of the year. You got Jamal Hill versus Glover. I think Ankalaev probably beats Jamal Hill and Glover with probably pretty much ease, dude. Maybe an
real quick question. What do you think they do with Magomed after the Jan result, since we've had a little time to kind of, I guess, soak that in? Do you think they throw him right back in the title fight?
Yeah, I think he's next. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't fight for a title again. As boring as he is, dude, he's damn good, and you can't say he's not. He's maybe what's it called? A kryptonite to leg kicks, maybe.
Yeah. Well, especially when you have a leg kicker like Giannis too. Yeah. So but yeah, for me, I would say that I think that when you're looking at it, I think it's really going to come down to this matchup coming up in a couple of weeks. Maybe it's kind of showing my hand a little bit now, but yeah, I think Jamal Hill will end up being the champion at the end of the year. I think it's a little bit too soon of a title shot for him, but I do think in terms of the way that he matches up with a lot of those guys at the top, I think that his power and explosiveness really helps him match up with a lot of the top strikers up at the top of the division. I think Alexander Rakic is going to be out for a little bit because he's a good fighter as well, but he had the torn ACL, so he's probably going to be out for a little bit and going to have to kind of work his way back up. So Magomed, I feel like they're going to end up making him take one more fight before he ends up fighting for the title, just because the way that last fight ended. They could just have Jan and Magomed rematch one another, but I don't think that Magomed's going to get an immediate title shot. I do agree that Magomed would be the favorite against Jamal Hill, but I don't think that fight happens this year, and I think Jamal Hill ends the year as the champ.
Maybe, dude. Maybe. Interesting. Not a whole lot going on at light heavyweight. Let's be honest. Moving on down, 185. Your current champion is Alex Pereira, dude. I only assume the rematch is going to be sometime next year, and we'll probably get the third part of a trilogy next year as well.
This year.
No, this year, dude. That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy, dude. I can't lose 2023, dude.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say, damn, they're going not gonna fight till 2024. I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah, dude, this year. So, Alex versus Izzy's probably gonna be this year, dude. Dude, there's some hammers at 185 though. If Alex gets past Izzy again, hold on, let me think about this for just a second, because Jesus. I think can you hear my dog barking or no? He is going nuts.
No, I can't.
Dude, he's loud as
Yeah.
all hell right now. There must be someone like at my door or something like that, but he's going crazy. Let me throw out this. I'm gonna
It's gonna be somebody breaking in, and then all of a sudden you're just gonna be like chilling up doing the pod. They'll be like the freeze.
God, I hope not, dude. But
that's gonna be a hell of a podcast when you edit that one.
Let me set it up like this, dude. I think Izzy will probably beat Alex in the rematch, and we get a trilogy late this year, early next year, dude. But say Alex does beat Izzy again, I don't think he'll be the champion by the end of the year. There's too many good wrestlers at 185, dude. That's a tough one, dude. Do I think Alex will be the champion at the end of the year? Izzy?
Well, I'll let you simmer on it a little bit because I can tell you're kind of going back and forth. I think similar wavelength as you. I do think that there's going to be a fight with Izzy again. Probably, I remember listening to Izzy in his interview with Ariel. Now he hasn't really made up his mind too much, but he was kind of targeting maybe around like spring or so. So maybe around like March or April, I could see them. Or April, I say maybe like April, Mayish. Around that time, maybe late spring, early summer type fight, and then maybe one more at the end of the year, because I do think that Israel Adesanya is eating at him that he has not been able to finally finish Alex Pereira once and for all. And in two separate occasions, he's had Alex Pereira completely rocked, saved by the bell, and Alex Pereira came back and put the finish on Izzy. So, but I do think overall that Izzy is the cleaner fighter. And of course, showing my hand again, I think that Izzy, I think they only fight twice this year, and I think that Izzy wins both fights and ends the year as a champ.
Interesting. All right. How about this? I'm going to throw a bold prediction at you since I don't really know what's happening in the 185 division. Let me put it like this. I think if Glover loses to Jamal Hill up at 205, and Alex beats Izzy in the rematch, I think you get Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill, Alex becoming the double champion at 185 and 205, dude, because I think Alex probably murks everyone at 205 aside from Yuri.
You think so?
I think so. Dude, he's so goddamn big. He's so goddamn big.
Yeah, he's like a freaking truck, dude. That dude's a savage, man. He's got them fucking boulders on his hands, bro. I mean, it just never. And he's got a good gas tank too. Like, dude never gets tired either. So,
what do you think happens
even
with,
when Eddie was wrestling him?
What do you think happens with Bobby Knuckles this year, dude? Anything?
Man, I could see them. They're probably going to end up giving him one more fight. I don't think he's going to fight for the title just yet, but I would be interested to see if Dricus ends up beating Derek Brunson, if that's the fight that they end up running, as maybe Dricus versus Robert Whitaker to potentially decide a number one contender fight. But I mean, Dricus does have to ultimately get through Derek Brunson, and Derek Brunson's a tough dude as well, so we know how good his wrestling is. So I'll be interested to see that fight. But I could see Whitaker maybe facing the winner of that fight and maybe staying busy. Depending on how the series goes with Izzy and Alex, could be ready for the title shot maybe beginning of 2024.
All right. And last thing at 185, and we can get off this one because the questions just keep on coming now. You think we see Bo Nickel fight anyone ranked in the top 15 this year?
Top 15? No, I don't think so. I think that'd be too quick of a jump. I do think that you're going to see, they're going to give him matchups that are going to be, they're not going to be super easy matchups. They're not going to give him all cans. They're going to give him matchups that are going to be, favorable to him, but guys who are going to be able to present a threat at the same time. Because I do think that they see something special in him and that they can grow him into something. And he's super early in his career right now, so there's no need to kind of just throw him to the wolves when you can kind of, you know, just take your time and really build on the talent that he is.
All right. So now we're getting on down to stuff that we could really kind of go into detail, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. We got 170, man. There's a lot going on at 170. We got Hamzat's there, Shavkat's there. The Shavkat fight, versus Jeff Neal fell out for this upcoming weekend, but it's rebooked, so that's not too bad. We'll get some definition there. I don't really know. I doubt Leon closes the year as the champion. I'm going to be honest. He just seems to, dude. There's no way Leon's going to be the champion closing out the end of the year, dude. I just really don't think so. It's like, unless he doesn't fight, if he fights, dude, no, hold on. That's not true. Because if he fights like Bilal Muhammad and like someone that's not Hamzat or fucking some kind of crusher, he'll probably be the champion at the end of the year. But I'm hoping that Hamzat gets a title shot this year, man. I just want to throw that out there. I would love to see Hamzat get a title shot this year if he's going to be at 170, dude. I mean, who else is he going to fight? Colby? He just now beat fucking Gilbert Burns. So who else is he going to fight aside from Leon for the championship? And that fight was already booked. They took Leon out of the rankings because he didn't want to fight Hamzat. And he's like, all right, fine. And they put him back in the rankings. And then, the whole COVID situation happened. So it's kind of nuts, dude. I would like to see Hamzat the champion at the end of the year, dude. Nothing gets me more excited than Hamzat's post-fight. So he's just yelling. You can't understand a word that he's saying. He's just yelling, fuck your ass. Fuck everybody. Fuck your ass. All right, dude.
And I say it, let me kill everybody. I kill everybody.
Exactly, dude. I'm like, yeah, brother. Whatever he said.
Smash.
Yeah, man. I'd like to see Hamzat champion at the end of the year. I could see Leon being the champion at the end of the year. As I said, if he fights two Bilals or something like that. How about you, man? How do you think 170 goes this year?
I don't think that I agree with you. I don't think Leon's going to end the year as a champion. I think that Usman ends up beating him in the rematch. But I think for Kamaru Usman, I think he wins, and I think he actually walks away.
It would make sense.
I think he goes and settles that, gets his revenge, settles the trilogy between the two, and he's pretty much kind of cemented his legacy at this point as one of the greatest welterweight champions of all time. So I think there's a good chance that he wins and retires off of that win. So then I think there's going to be an opportunity for a vacant title at the end of the year next year, or this year. And yes, but hey, I caught it though. I caught it. But I think there's a good possibility that Hamzat could be fighting Bilal Muhammad for the vacant welterweight championship. I think that Bilal's kind of put himself in a good position here. He's been really calling out Hamzat when no one else really has. And he's got some momentum going forward as well. And he's wanting to fight up as he's in the top 5 as well. I think he's kind of been making a little bit more of a name for himself after the Sean Brady finish. I think a lot more fans have kind of gone to show him a little bit more respect. And but I think overall in that fight, I would think that Hamzat's size would be just a little bit too much for him. So I think right now I'm going to have to say that Hamzat is, if he is to fight, so I think there's the asterisk there. If he is to fight in the division, I don't know if he's going to continue to fight at 170. If he does not fight at 170, I think that it's so tough at 170, man, because it's just such a coin flip with all those guys. Man, I might say that it could be Bilal Muhammad as the welterweight champion.
God, I hope not, dude. God, I hope not.
It very well could be, depending on what Hamzat wants to do. I know Bilal's been calling him out, but that's really my biggest holdup in the welterweight division, is depending on what Hamzat wants to do next. If he stays in the division, I think he's the champ. If he doesn't stay, I think there's a very good chance that it could be Bilal, because I think Usman wins against Leon and then he retires. So the belt is vacant at that point.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on down, dude. Also, don't forget we got Connor somewhere in between these two divisions, between 170 and at here at 155, where we're at now. We got Islam, the champion. Dude, him versus Volk, that fight interests me more than it interests a lot of other people, dude. I think most people are just of the idea that Islam's just gonna go in there like and just like murk Volk, dude. And dude, Volk's really damn good, dude. It's like he continues to get better and better. And people forget the dude, he fought up at 185, dude. Like the dude has mass that he has carried down. And dude, he's thick on the bottom. Like you don't see anyone really taking him down. He's been taken down a few times, but it doesn't happen too often, dude. Could Islam get him down? Probably. I don't think, dude. Volk is so tough, dude. He was in 2 T-City chokes, like where his head was turning purple, and he somehow got out of it, dude. I mean, I'm not saying T-City squeeze is better than Islam squeeze or anything like that, but I'm just saying the dude is a dog, and he's going to fight through. He's not just going to do the Charles Oliveira, and as soon as you step off, give the old tap and be done, you know? He's going to go out cold. He's not going to give up, dude. That's going to be an interesting fight, and I'm really, truly am looking forward to that fight. I don't know who's going to be the champion at the end of the year, dude. Volk might shock a lot of damn people, dude. It really does surprise me. Some other interesting things in this like division as well. Interested to see what UFC does with Patty this year, because after the Jared Gordon fight, I'm interested to see what they do with him, because it's like, where do you even match make? Because you did beat Jared Gordon on paper, dude. But who do you fight next? Because it's like Jared Gordon's not the worst fighter in the world, and you know, there's not really too much outside of that ranked above him that's not in the rank somewhere against someone with power that's going to knock him out, dude. I would love to see him fight Terrence McKinney this year. I know Terrence McKinney has been calling out a lot that he wants to fight Patty. And I just now heard an interview with him recently. I don't know if it's, you know, just trying to get the fight or not, but he said that he's heard down the grapevine that UFC is interested in that fight, dude. So, I mean,
you just want to see Patty get murdered.
It's not that I want to see Patty get murdered. Look, I have Patty shit here. I'm a Patty fan. I just want to see what happens. Like, what happens when you fight someone with power? I just want to see it, dude. Like, it can, if he survives, dude, interesting. But one name, dude, that has been in common with all of these people, dude, that I have my eye on this year. I think he's greatly improved, dude. And dude, pound for pound, blow for blow, I don't think there's one person in like the division that will stand with him, specifically stand with him and throw bombs on the hook, on the feet, and not get knocked out. And that is Drew Dober, man. I'm excited to see what Drew Dober does this year, dude. Like, I don't know if it's just recency bias since that last Bobby Green fight, but even the fights before, dude, I'm a Drew Dober fan with his fucking blockhead, dude. It's interesting, dude. I'm getting my words mixed up now. It's interesting. I'm interested. Give me some more Drew Dober, dude. I love me some Drew Dober. What about you? 155, dude.
Yeah, as far as the champion, man, I'm actually on the same wavelength as you. That title fight with him and Volk, Volk's not gonna be a pushover. He, as you said, you know, he's got that dog in him, man. So I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight. I do think that, you know, Islam's gonna be favored, and I think for a very good reason. Islam is a savage, and I do think that Volk, he's only been taken down maybe once, maybe twice, but I don't know if he's fought someone who has relentlessly tried to take him down outside of Darren Elkins, and we kind of know where Darren Elkins is at, you know, compared to Islam. So I do think that Islam, at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to be able to finish Volk, but I do think that I have the right to change my mind fight week, because that fight's coming up like next month. I reserve the right to change my mind. As of right now, put on the spot, Islam's going to be the champ at the end of the year. I do think that it just feels like, and I don't know. I'm going back and forth, man. I'm the same way as you. And Habib just retired from coaching, so he's not going to have Habib by his side anymore.
So odd too, dude.
Yeah, man. Everything's just, and he was he was the one who called out Volk and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe him not having Habib by his side. I'm like you, dude. I don't know. I don't even want to make the pick. I was going to say Islam, but I'm sitting here talking myself out of the pick because I'm bringing shit up that kind of goes with the deal.
Exactly. Dude.
Yeah, man. It's such a coin flip for the champion, man. I don't know. And to your Patty point, I just wanted to make a point on it too. It's almost just super hard to even match him up at this point because a guy like Jared Gordon, good fighter, but not a great fighter by any means. But he is, I would say, maybe in that 20-25 range. So you think that Patty is going to fight up eventually because he's not like Bo Nickel where he doesn't have the experience in fighting. Patty's well seasoned at this point as far as being a well experienced fighter, and he's been there and done that when he was in Cage Warriors, and he's helped not be the main event, but he's helped headline a lot of these cards. So I am interested to see what they do with him as well, just in terms of how they matchmake him going forward. Because, man, you ask me right now, him against Terrence McKinney, I don't like that matchup for Patty at all right now. I think Terrence McKinney, there's a good chance he takes his head off. So, yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how they match up Patty going forward.
All right. You think we'll see Conor this year at all, either division?
Maybe against Chandler. Maybe against Chandler.
I'd be interested in that, dude. Also, how'd you like the Chandler doc, dude? I spent weeks on that.
Did? Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, and I was going to say, I knew that he was a college wrestler, but I didn't know in terms of him falling short so many times before he finally was able to break through. So, yeah, you shined some light on there that I didn't recognize as well. So, no, you did a really good job, and yeah, everybody should check that out. It's a really good Michael Chandler documentary that Matt put together, and yeah, some good content, man.
I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. So moving on down, dude, 145. There's one fighter that sticks out to me in my head. Once again, I don't know if it's recency bias, dude, but everyone better keep their fucking eyes out this year for Ilia Topuria, dude. The dude is a fucking murderer, dude. Just throwing goddamn bombs, dude. Dude, I don't know if there's anyone at 145 that he don't beat, dude. Like, aside from Volk, I don't know if there's anyone that he doesn't knock out, dude. Dude, maybe at the top, Max. Like, maybe, dude, I would love to this year at some point see Ilia Topuria versus Josh Emmett, dude. That fight, you can stick that sucker into me, dude. Dude, that fight would be an absolute banger. Probably take years off of each man's life, dude. But I am down for it, dude. That fight would be an absolute banger, dude. Ilia Topuria is someone that I am just interested in this year. And if you're interested in UFC cards and you watch the podcast, I think I got a little video coming on Ilia Topuria in the next few weeks. I got just kind of something planned that I want to, point out for the hobby and, try to explain to people that are into UFC card collecting and shit like that, dude. But 145, dude, I'm interested to see what happens with T-City this year. I'm a T-City fan. Got the squeeze of death on him. But, yeah, dude, just I guess we're waiting to see what happens with the Emmett versus Yair Rodriguez and all that. So kind of a lot happening down at 145. And at the end of the year, I say Volk will probably be your champion. I think he'll be double champion, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. No, there's a very good possibility. But I think regardless of the Emmett versus Yair fight, and I do love that fight on paper. I do think that's a good matchup, and I'm leaning towards Emmett going in. I think we've kind of had our differences on that fight, but I do think regardless, I think that either or is not going to be a good matchup for Alexander Volkanovski. And I take Alexander Volkanovski for his word that even if he is to get the title at 155, I take him for his word that he'll still cut down to 45 and fight the winner of Emmett versus Yair to decide who the real champ is at 145. And I think that either or is not a good matchup for Volkanovski. So I do think that at the end of the day, even if Volk loses, could that mess with his psyche? Maybe a little bit, but I still think just in terms of matchup wise, I just don't think Emmett. I think Emmett's a little bit too wild, and I just don't think that Yair has good enough takedown defense for Volk. I think Volk could just take him down and just pound him out, and I think that he'd be a little bit too slick for Josh Emmett on the feet. Josh Emmett's a little bit more of a wild dude, hence why you wanted to make the matchup with Topuria and Emmett. Same here as well, and I can share the same thoughts as far as being excited for Topuria. Definitely recency bias, but man, you get the Jai Herbert knockout. Well, because really, I'd kind of noticed him when he had the Ryan Hall knockout.
The Ryan Hall fight was the one that like I remember on the podcast being like, bro, I'm gonna be going Ryan Hall, hopefully leg lock. But dude, if Ilia Topuria starts smashing Ryan Hall's head, don't be surprised if like we see Ilia Topuria round one knockout, dude. And sure enough, that's what Ryan Hall was doing, dude. And Ilia just fucking murked him, dude. And I was like, that didn't surprise me, dude.
Yeah. No, that's really where I took notice of him right there. And then he had the Jai Herbert knockout. Well, he had the Damon Jackson knockout as well in the Apex. And he's such a savage dude, just a killer. Just the way that he took Bryce Mitchell apart. And you can see Bryce, as soon as he got hit in that fight, like Bryce's eyes, he was like, "Oh, like this is the different type of a punch that I felt than from anybody else." So, and he just systematically broke him down in that fight, and finally,
he like throws himself off of his feet when he throws hooks, dude. If it's like if he don't hit you, he might end up on the ground because he missed you so bad.
And he just constantly moves forward, like that's his thing too. Like he literally just constant pace, moving forward, and just looking to take your head off. So yeah. I'm super excited to see how they match him up going forward as well, because I think he can beat just about anybody up in that division, and he's a good wrestler as well. Something that he doesn't use a lot, but he is a good wrestler, and can utilize his wrestling as well if he's fighting any potential danger or anything, just like he did against Jai Herbert. So
like
he's gonna be super excited.
That like fucking like the Spanish singer in the bar too, dude. He don't care who you are. He will fucking knock your ass out.
Dude, hit his ass with the clean hook, man. I don't. And then his homie with the Spartan kick, dude. Now that was badass. That dude went to jump in and he Spartan kicked him. Yeah, I was like, that's a real homie right there.
Dude, a lot of news has happened over these past few weeks. Yeah. Anything else at 145, dude?
No, I'm good.
135, the premier division of the UFC, or at least, dude, it's gotta be top two, dude. It's gotta be, dude. Not really what's happening at the top, because at the top we have Aljo versus Henry Cejudo. That may or may not be happening, dude. I don't know what the hell is happening there. So I'm gonna take both those fighters. I'm gonna crumple them up. And let's forget about them. Say that fight doesn't happen or it does happen. Let's focus on an interim this year. I like Sean O'Malley versus Cheeto for the interim. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm surprised that hasn't been made already, dude, because of the shenanigans that we're waiting on with Aljo and Henry, dude. You think we see that this year? And I've been kind of taking the lead. Let me hear from you at 135. Who are you interested in? Who's the champion? Matchups that you want to be made? Just throw a few at me.
As far as the champion, it's going to be really tough because, just like you said, it's going to be really tough to see what happens with Cejudo and Aljo, if that fight even happens. Aljo was saying here recently that he has a torn bicep, and that's why the fight hasn't been made. And according to a lot of people, that's a recovery time. You could be looking at
real quick, but I like listening to you.
Yeah, you're talking 6 to 9 months on a recovery from a torn bicep from what a lot of people say. So it's going to be tough to see if Aljo is even able to fight this year. I almost don't know if they want to waste the O'Malley versus Cheeto for an interim when both of them are so close to realizing a title that maybe you could just wait for maybe a championship opportunity for one of them. I think the champion is it's going to come down to what Aljo is going to do, but I do think that I think for this year, if he fights Cejudo, dude, that's a really tough matchup. I'm still kind of up in the air on the fight itself. So if that fight happens, we'll see. But I think for as far as who I'm excited for at 135, the guy that I'm most excited for, and I think I've talked about him all the time, and I've been kind of waiting for an announcement. You're probably going to throw an announcement in there in the fight news. But man, Adrian Yanez, and I am super duper excited to see what he's going to bring to this division. Dude, his boxing is so clean. I've kind of told you for a little bit since he's came in the UFC, like, hey, look out for this dude. Like he is nice. And no, he just comes in and from that Tony Kelly finish, I've watched that finish at least 300 times. Like probably no bullshit. Like just the way that he just broke him down with he was just so clean with his counter shots, just perfect timing, and his hands are just it reminds me of Michael Johnson with his hand speed, dude. Like he is just so fast, and like there were a couple like hooks that he had landed against Tony Kelly that I didn't even realize that he landed, because right there at the end when he threw that flurry, he's just like bang bang bang, just landing like 2 or 3 punches and just getting ready to take his head off. So Adrian Yanez, that dude's a killer. The only person he has not been able to finish is Davey Grant, and Davey Grant's just a whole nother type of tough. So, but for so far, Adrian Yanez has gotten all finishes. I'm super excited to see what they're going to do with him. He's going to fight Rob Font coming up next. That's going to be a super interesting fight. 2 super clean boxers. Kind of see how they match up, but I'm taking Yanez in that fight. Font gets hit a little bit too much, so. Adrian Yanez, man, I'm going to be excited to see what he does this year.
Yeah, dude, I hope the Sugar Show closes out the year as the interim champ, but that's just me. 135 is interesting all around though. All right, 125, man. So we're going to have Figgy versus like Moreno 4, 5, 6 this year, maybe. Who the hell knows, dude? How many times are they going to fight each other? I don't even know, man. And there's some young killers at 125, dude, that people need to start paying attention to. That beat like fucking Brandon Moreno on the Ultimate Fighter was Alexandre Pantoja. Yeah. So it's like, bro, like he's right there too, and he's done nothing but murk everyone that he's fought, dude. So it's like, what, dude, 125 is really up in the air, and I'm interested to see what happens. I am a Brandon Moreno fan, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have a new champ by the end of the year, dude. Like Muhammad Makayev looks pretty damn good too. Yeah, dude. How you think Matt Schnell does this year, dude?
Yeah, I would say that is like he is like your favorite fighter for I know that's your guy. I know you'll be super excited to see him fight this year.
I think Matt Schnell might still be ranked above Manal Cap. If he is, dude, it would only be smart for UFC to make that fight. Yeah, like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because Matt Schnell, he can get ran over a little bit. But, yeah, with Moreno and Figgy, it's going to be tough because I don't know. Are they going to fight again if they, whatever the result of this fight happens? So you just don't know how that's going to go. But early thoughts, I do think Moreno is going to, I think Moreno's going to be able to get it done. For some reason, it's like they do not want to give Pantoja a title shot. I don't know what it is, but they will absolutely will not give him a title shot for any reason whatsoever. I think that he can beat Brandon Moreno. He's already beaten him twice, once in the UFC and once in the Ultimate Fighter. So I think that he would be the favorite going into that fight, and I think that Pantoja would win. Just really going to come down to if he actually sees that title shot. I think if he doesn't get a title shot, I think that Brandon Moreno is going to be the champ by the end of the year. And I think a fighter to look out for is Amir Albazi. That dude,
right.
That is a savage. Yeah, that is a savage. And we had seen him. Was it on 280? It wasn't on two or. No, it wasn't 280. I'm sorry, I'm mixing him up with somebody else. But no, at flyweight he is a savage.
It was
No, he fought a couple weeks ago, but I thought that he had taken a fight on 280 as well, because I remember he fought in December because he had fought the dude on short notice, and when they knocked him out in the third round, like it was a savage finish. I think he hit him with an uppercut and knocked him out with it. So yeah, I think Amir Albazi is gonna be a dude to look out for. That is a hammer too, and he's coming towards the top of the division pretty soon. So he's gonna be a guy that I'm looking out for.
All right, dude. All right. So let's talk about the women's. I guess we can class 135/145 together, dude, because let's be honest.
We don't even have to say 45. Like there's nothing at 40. Literally nothing at 45.
Yeah.
Besides Nunes.
Dude, I think Amanda retires this year. I'm gonna throw that out there. I think maybe she fights one more time and retires this year, and then leaving the strap vacant, dude. I think you'll get depending on how this weekend goes, if Ketlen Vieira beats Raquel Pennington, dude, we might get like Irene Aldana versus Ketlen Vieira for the vacant title at the end of the year, something like that. It wouldn't surprise me too much, dude.
The rematch.
Maybe like Juliana Pena versus I don't know, dude, because Juliana's kind of older too, dude. She's not young either. Like the top of the Bantamweight divisions, like average is over 35, dude, and for females, it's kind of up there, dude. Not everyone is a junkyard dog. Lucky Lauren Murphy, dude. Not everyone can do that as long as she can do that.
But that's the problem, though. It's like all the girls are like 40 and 38, and it's like all of them are. It's not like it's just like some of them, like Ketlen Vieira and Irene Aldana, no. But other than that, pretty much everybody else in that division is like old as dirt. And they've been in the UFC for a long time and got a lot of miles worn on them. So it's such a tough division because Ronda held it up for a long time, and of course Amanda's held it up now, and Amanda's just pretty much cleaned up shop. But the rest of the division just never really kind of shaped out. Kind of like how how Strawweight has. How Strawweight just has a bunch of killers and savages in that division. 35 just hadn't been able to pan out that way, but I am in lockstep with you as far as Amanda Nunes retiring this year as well. I think maybe runs it back with Pena. I know Pena's been calling for the trilogy fight. Nunes hadn't really made too much of what she wants to do, and I don't really know if she wants to fight any more of kind of the up-and-comers. So I think there's a good chance that she retires this year. Yeah, and I honestly think the same thing as you. I think Aldana and Vieira fight for the vacant title. I think the rematch as Vieira goes in to try to redeem her knockout loss to Aldana.
Yeah,
so I think that'll be a good matchup.
Dude. We get another the first Mexican female champion going to be Irene Aldana this year, dude. That'd be nice. I'm an Aldana fan. 125, man. We know Valentina's a fucking lights out, dude. It's tough to beat her. Although, dude, that Talia Santos fight was closer than a lot of people want to give her credit for, dude. I thought she won that fight strictly because the cut that she got was from a headbutt, dude. But judges can't see that, so it is what it is, man. There's one name that I'm interested to see what happens this year, dude, and that is, can you guess?
Blanchfield?
No. Tatiana Suarez, dude. Tatiana Suarez has a fight scheduled, dude, and I'll talk about the announcement on the next session, dude. But Tatiana Suarez coming up to 125. We haven't seen her in a while, dude. A literal Olympic wrestler, probably the best wrestler in the women's side of the UFC, dude. So, dude, she's big, dude. She's probably got some problems for a lot of people. She's got good kicks, dude. Interested. But as you said, dude, Erin Blanchfield as well, dude. Interested to see what both of those girls do this year. I think by the end of the year, though, dude, and we'll also talk about this. Erin Blanchfield is going to be fighting Talia Santos in the next few months. So that is what kind of waiting on the outcome there. We could see Erin Blanchfield versus Valentina at the end of the year itself, dude. So who knows? I don't know if I favor Erin that much versus Valentina Shevchenko, dude. That's tough. Just want to shout out. I am interested to see what happens with Tatiana Suarez this year in her comeback. How about you, man? 125?
Yeah, man. I think 125. Still, the division's working itself out. It's worked itself out a little bit more over the last couple of years or so, as far as kind of shaping out more kind of up and coming contenders. There's a couple more like
also
young faces
don't
that are
forget
coming up.
Alexa Grasso's right there too, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, yeah, they're definitely doing better as forming the division out. But I still think Valentina, it's going to be really tough to try to take it from her. Talia Santos tried as much as she could. I do think if there's somebody that actually provides the chance to, would be Erin Blanchfield, just due to her wrestling, because we have seen Valentina get taken down in a couple fights now with Talia Santos, and Sheena getting taken down in Jennifer Maia fight as well. Now Jennifer Maia only had one round, but she pretty much controlled Valentina for that whole, I think it was the third round when they fought. She pretty much controlled her that whole portion of the fight. So I very well could see Blanchfield potentially giving her problems, and man, there's a good chance that she could be champ at the end of the year. But I do think that where I want to try to wait to make a prediction on that fight, I think that's going to be the title fight at the end of the year. I think they're going to wait for the Blanchfield fight with Talia Santos to see how that plays out. In my opinion, I think Blanchfield wins that fight. And, man, I think she is very much a live dog if she goes up against Valentina Shevchenko. So I want to wait for my prediction on that fight, because I think Erin Blanchfield has a real shot to take out Valentina Shevchenko for the title.
Not mad at that, dude. Not mad at that. Interested to see what happens, but not sold, I guess. Like not sold. 115, dude. The premier female division, dude. The one that, I'm the most excited about, dude. These girls go at it nonstop. We had the injection of the two Yasmins this past year, dude. Interested to see what both of those go on to do this year. But one fight that I would love to see, maybe for the title shot, is a rematch between Jessica Andrade and Zhang Weili. And if we don't get that, inject me with Amanda Lemos versus Zhang Weili, dude. I would be down for either one of those two, that rematch or Zhang versus Lemos, dude. I want to see both of those. As sad as it is, dude, I think we might see the downfall of Thug Rose this year. She did lose to Jillian Robertson in a grappling match. Quick, though, dude. Quick. So, and she had excuses after, as Rose Namajunas does, about how, things aren't going well for her or anything like that. It's like, well, do you think they make Rose versus Zhang 3 this year?
I think they're going to probably want Rose to come back and earn it. I think she's going to have to come back and fight at least one more time. And who it'll be hard telling to kind of make that decision or make that, opponent at this point. Just because I think the top of the division is still kind of forming out a little bit more. You can maybe say like Mackenzie Dern or Yan Xiaonan, or, maybe anybody like that. But I just think the champ at the end of the year likely to be Zhang Weili. She's such a dog. She's just got that that savage mentality, just going in there, just taking the chicks out, whether it be on the feet, whether it be on the ground. As I told you, she had my submission of the year last year, just in the way that she was able to trap off Carla's arm that way and submit a very good wrestler like Carla is as well. So she's just going in there and taking these girls out one by one for the most part. And I think that the fight I do want to see is Lemos and Zhang. Lemos as well is going to be a very live dog in that fight if they make that fight. Just because that right hand of Amanda Lemos we've seen in the Rodriguez fight with Amanda Lemos, that she could put somebody's lights out at any moment. And I would say your girl, the bunny, Montserrat Ruiz, your girl, the way she put her out. I'm definitely
I will go to the grave with saying that's early stoppage by Chris Tione. Like, he was up before Amanda Lemos was even bent over. Like, it doesn't.
He saved that girl from taking.
He did save her from a few punches, but it was an early stoppage.
Irreversible damage that could have been done to that girl. Because when she stood up, she was doing the salsa when she was going back. Like, no, dude, she was toast. She was absolutely toast. But
she was dancing bachata.
Yeah, my heta.
Oh, goodness. All right, man.
But no, Lemos is who I'm excited for the most in the division.
All right, cool. We're gonna take a quick little break because I got a UFC card break to check out for a second, but we will be back in a few minutes. It'll be a snap for you guys. And we're back. Shout out the Gobble family. I'm not sure if you guys actually watch my podcast or not, but if you do, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Bought a spot in a UFC card break, so super generous of the Gobble family. So just now watch that. I let old D watch in on the pod live through my phone. It wasn't the best quality on earth, but you know, I still don't think he understands it. He has no clue what's going on.
Not a clue.
But let's jump on into our next topic of the news, dude. So since our last podcast, there's been a lot of news come out. So I want to start right here. I don't know if I said this or not, but we kind of hinted at it earlier in the day. We got Aaron Blanchfield versus Talia Santos, February 18th, dude. So just real quick, immediate thoughts on that. And I guess you already kind of gave a little bit of a hand, but
yeah, I think that's a good matchup for Aaron Blanchfield. I think that they're obviously putting her on a trajectory towards the title, man, and I think that Aaron Blanchfield, I think if she wins that fight, I think there's a very good chance she fights for the title. So, but it's a good matchup, and I like the fight.
All right, dude. Up next, we got JJ Aldridge taking on Ariane Lipski, added to Vegas 71, March 11th. Care about that one?
A little bit of a banger. I would say Lipski, she's been like up and down as of late. JJ Aldridge seems to be putting it together a little bit, so that's an interesting fight.
All right, Marcin Tybura versus Blagojevich off February 4th.
That's going to be a big old slot fest.
We got the return of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Julian Marquez is going to be taking on Marc-Andre Barriault, March 4th. Marc-Andre Barriault coming off that knockout loss to Chidi Njokuani, yeah? Or has he fallen?
I think the bad part is I think he's lost since then too. But honestly, I can't truly remember. But no, that should be a pretty good fight. But Marquez, I like Marquez. He's a dog. He's one of those dudes. He doesn't have the most technique, but he goes out there and goes for war. So I like to watch him fight.
Yeah, for sure. We got Jake Hadley versus Malcolm X Gordon, UFC 286, March 18th, dude.
Who is it again?
Jake Hadley versus Malcolm Gordon. Malcolm Gordon was the guy that
Malcolm Gordon. Oh yeah. Yeah. That dude had the big old the scary eyes, look like he had the damn pupils in. Yeah, not really interested.
All right. We got Cheetah Vera versus Corey Sandhagen, February 18th, dude. Interesting, yeah. Dude, why is this Apex? What is happening? Why is this a fight night at the Apex, dude?
Because Sandhagen, like, I'm sure Sandhagen probably likes the smaller octagon better. He seems to be having some success when he fights there. So, but that's a banger of a fight. But almost don't think that Cheetah really needs to be taking the fight. He could be working his way up in a Sean O'Malley rematch or potentially a title fight. So I think he's kind of burning his own title opportunity bridge by taking this Sandhagen fight. But Cheetah's a savage, though.
Yeah, man. Up next, we got Alex Perez taking on Manao Cap. That is March 25th. You know, I would have liked the danger match Snell fight for him a little bit better, but let's be real. Alex Perez hasn't looked the best either, dude.
Yeah, hasn't looked the best. I would say probably just as good of a matchup, and Alex Perez has a little bit more of a lasting name than Machinell does. Even though Machinell had the comeback of the year last year in some people's eyes, he's never been the most technical fighter. When Alex Perez has actually earned a title shot at 125. So just as easy a fight for Manel Kape, in my opinion.
All right, dude. Moving on up, Sean Brady taking on Michel Pereira, March 25th. Welterweight. Care about that one?
Weird matchup, honestly. I just thought that was such a weird matchup stylistically, but I'll be interested to see what happens, but Brady should definitely be the favorite.
All right, I don't know who those guys are, so we're going to skip. We got Derek Brunson versus Dricus du Plessis, March 4th. You kind of gave a little hint on that one. And up next, we got Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez, April 8th, dude. So that's not too far away either, and I know you're damn excited for that one, and we already talked about that one just a little bit earlier, too. So two in a row.
My God, man.
Two in a row, you've like already like, you were just ready to talk about. That's some shit happening this weekend. Omar Morales out. Matus Rębecki will now fight Nick Fiore. So, dude, changes for this weekend's fight have been happening all damn week, dude. We got Rafael Assunção versus Kyler Phillips. Pretty good, interesting fight. We'll see where Rafael Assunção's still at, man.
Yeah. See where he's at this point, but he had a pretty good win in his last fight, right? So yeah, I'll be interested to see where they go.
Dude, this is a fight that I am a fan of because I'm not the biggest Randy Brown fan in the world, and I am a fan of Jack Della Maddalena. We got Jack Della versus Randy Brown, UFC 284, February 11th. I'm guessing that's the Australia card, yeah?
You said February? Yeah. So that's the Australia, or at least it should be the Australia card. So that should be a good fight, man. Randy Brown, he might be a little bit of a tricky matchup for Jack Della Maddalena, but Jack's got another one, got that dog in him, man, and he's got that dirty boxing with them nasty body shots that he throws. So that should be a really fun fight, and I'll be excited to see that too.
All right, we got Daniel Pineda versus Tucker Lutz, March 25th. Dude, his name sounds like an insult. You Tucker Lutz.
Sounds like some like local mom pop like tire shop, like Tucker Lutz and Lug Nuts or something like that, like Tucker Lutz Lug Nuts. Yeah, I'm definitely going with that. But I don't know shit about these fighters.
My damn MacBook was dying. Up next, we got Josh Parisian taking on Jamal Pokes from the Contender Series. Care about that one?
No.
All right, Mike Malott taking on Johan Lanus. You remember these guys?
I remember Johan, ain't it like Lanese or whatever, or something like that? Or I remember the name, but that's about it.
Mike Malott. These are both crushers, dude. This fight is going to be pretty interesting. This probably doesn't go the distance. Probably doesn't go into the third round. An interesting one, dude. Cynthia Calvillo taking on Lupita Godinez, April 8th, man. Lupi versus Calvillo.
Cynthia Calvillo is still fighting. Why? That's all I got. Why?
All right. We got Jennifer Maia versus King Casey O'Neill, dude. Another one to watch out for at 125, dude.
Yeah. Casey O'Neill, she pissed everybody off by kind of, talking shit to Roxanne Modafferi when Roxanne doesn't talk shit to anybody. So people kind of want to see her get a little bit of comeuppance. But she is a dog though. She's a savage, and yeah, she's, as you said, one of those to watch out for at 125.
All right, we got Jai Herbert taking on Ludovic Klein, March 18th. Care about that one?
It should be a little bit of a fun fight, but not really anything too major.
All right, we got Lerone Murphy taking on Nathaniel Wood, March 18th. I guess that's in the London card because we got two London dudes on there.
Yeah, and Nathaniel Wood looked good in his last fight and against Charles Rosa as well. So looked like that cut to 145. He seemed to kind of size up in the division pretty well. So he should be pretty exciting to watch going forward. He's very technical and super sharp and a good striker.
All right. Here it is, man. We got the return of Tatiana Suarez, February 25th against Montana De La Rosa, dude. I didn't know Montana De La Rosa was still in the UFC, to be honest. I remember her a long time ago on Tough, but dude, it's Dorian holding in a yawn so much right now.
Yep.
I saw you like,
Absolutely.
like, what is wrong with them?
I'm trying not to explode.
Care about that? Tatiana Suarez versus Montana De La Rosa.
I mean, I'm just curious more of from Tatiana's standpoint, just to see kind of where she's at this point in her career, because, taking all this time off, obviously is due to health reasons, but taking all that time off, Dominic Cruz is probably the only person who doesn't believe in ring rust at this point, but pretty much everybody else is a component of ring rust is a real factor. So I'm curious to see how Tatiana kind of handles that. But if she's the old Tatiana, should be pretty easy work.
All right, man. I thought Trevin Giles got released from the UFC, yeah?
I thought so too, unless he earned his way back.
We got Trevin Giles versus Preston Parsons, March 25th, dude. So interesting. Yeah. Dude, this is the guy I get confused with Joe Anderson Brito a lot. Rafael Alves, dude. Though they confuse me quite a bit, and they're one weight class. I think they might be in the same weight class or like one weight class apart too. I think fucking Joe Anderson Brito's 145 and Rafael Alves is 155.
55.
Yeah, they confuse me a lot. But Rafael Alves is going to be taking on a newcomer. So interesting. Whatever. Guram Kutataladze is out, and now Thiago Moises will fight. I'm not even going to try to say this guy's name, Costa, at UFC 283. So, and that's for this weekend. Nasruddin Imavov versus Sean Strickland. Isaac Bulgarian is out for this weekend, and Dan Argueta will now face Nick Aguirre. So that's the last one. So up until yesterday, dude, fights are still falling out of this card for this weekend.
Crazy. I mean, they'll probably still continue to fall out. It's only Wednesday on our end, record right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if by weigh-in day, there's a couple more that falls out.
Yeah, man. So that is all the news, all the fight announcements for this past weekend. I guess right before the podcast, I did listen to Dana talking to the media about what had happened over New Year's about him promoting his Power Slap League in Mexico and all that. But not the best look for old Dana White in the news, yeah?
Tough to kind of watch with him and his wife, man, and just a very uncomfortable situation. They were both intoxicated, as I got a crying child in the background. But yeah, him and his wife ended up having from what Dana said, one too many drinks, and ended up getting into it, and Dana's wife had slapped Dana, and Dana had retaliated and hit her a couple of times, and it's like, man, you're a pretty big dude. I don't know if you need to really be, kind of clapping back at your wife, and I don't know, there had to be something there, because it looked like he was kind of trying to like maybe control her wrist. It was almost like there was something that was boiling over, but if it was to that point, maybe you could have just walked away. But I mean, I don't want to act like that, I'm going to be the one to make the right decision in every situation, but Dana's just got to be smarter than that at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, we are all human. We all do make mistakes, but that's for sure going to follow him around for forever. He's always said this is inexcusable, and when it happens to him, he did say it's inexcusable, and there's no reason that it should happen, and there's no reason that anyone should be defending him. So I'm glad that he does realize this. As far as repercussions, dude, I don't really see anything that can happen that isn't going to hurt the business more than help the business. Like if you try to get rid of Dana, dude, whose hands are you going to put the UFC in? I can only see that going downhill very, very quickly if you try to remove Dana from the situation. So I don't think that is the correct action. Dude, he has to deal with it, like he has to deal with everyone saying that he hits women for the rest of his life, definitely shouldn't have happened, dude. It's just unfortunate situation all around. I'm sure they both wish they could go back to that night and be like, let's let's not slap each other tonight. Like, so just unfortunate all around. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, sorry, I
Okay.
muted my mic. But yeah, no, I said cooler heads would have prevailed if they could have, if they could go back and change things. So we know that's probably not within their character, but just just a dumb moment from Dana, and like you said, he's going to have to live with it for the rest of his life now. Knowing that he's going to be called whether he thinks it's true or not, a domestic abuser. People are going to be calling him that for the rest of his life now.
Indeed, man, indeed. And that's not something you want to walk around with, man. That's rough. Dude, I've been hit before, and you can't retaliate. It's like, well, I'm glad you're a female, and that did not hurt in the slightest. So, I mean, luckily there wasn't I didn't have no Gabby Garcias trying to slap me or anything like that, because I can't promise I would not retaliate if Gabby Garcia's coming at me, bro.
Gabby Garcia might get shot. Gabby Garcia might get shot to fuck around. Yeah, shit.
I would need a baseball bat to defend myself against Gabby Garcia.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get that heat for Gabby. Yeah, we ain't playing around with her.
But yeah, just an unfortunate situation all around. Let's make a little lighthearted joke there at the end. But the only other news that I have this week is dude, Jeff Molina seems to have been, I guess, suspended by the UFC for being in contact with old Coach Krause. Dude, the saga never ends, does it, dude?
Yeah, and the bad part is it's still continuing because the investigation is still ongoing with everything. So it seems that they said if anybody has any type of association with James Krause, that they're going to be permitted from fighting in the UFC until this thing is regulated, and they're standing by their word. And Jeff Molina is now facing the brunt of the UFC's word on that. So unfortunate for Molina, but at the same time, he knows where the UFC stands right now, and they're drawing the line in the sand. And if he wants to fight in the UFC, he knows what he has to do at the end of the day. So sucks, but sometimes tough decisions have to be made.
Yeah, dude. And dude, he made the decision. So it is what it is, man. So that is the news and fight topics for this week, dude. Anything else before we get into this weekend's fights? About an hour and a half, but we got a little short break in there. I got to chop out. So probably about, hour 15 at this point.
Yeah. I'm good to get into the fights this weekend.
All right, man. So before we talk about what fights for this weekend, I'm going to give you a list of all the fights that have fell out for this weekend. So Jeff Molina versus Jimmy Flick fell out for this weekend. Kelvin Gastelum versus Nasruddin Imavov, of course, fell out for this weekend. Jeff Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. David Onama versus Jarno Aarons. Daniel Argueta versus Isaac Bulgarian, and Omar Morales versus Matus Rębecki. All of those fights were originally scheduled for this weekend, and they all fell out, dude. So starting off our fights, I'm going to give them to you top to bottom, and then we will give you our thoughts and opinion. Bottom to top, feel free to stick around as long as you want, or fast forward, do what you have to do to get our picks for this weekend. So up first this weekend, in the main event this weekend, we got Sean Strickland taking on Nasruddin Imavov at 205 pounds, light heavyweight. Keep that in mind. Co-main event is going to be 50K Dan Ige versus Damon the Leech Jackson. That's at 145. We got Punahele Soriano taking on Roman Kopylov. Interesting fight. 185. We got Caitlin Vieira versus Raquel Pennington at 135. We got Umar Nurmagomedov as a huge favorite over Raoni Barcelos at 135. We got Abdul Razak Alhassan versus Claudio Ribeiro at 185. Matus Rębecki taking on Nick Fiore at 155. Matus Mendonça taking on Javid Basharat. Interesting fight. Both undefeated at 135. We got Alan Nascimento taking on Carlos Hernandez at 125. Daniel Argueta taking on Nick Aguirre at 145. Jimmy Flick making his return after over 2 years against Charles Energy Johnson. And Dorian, can you turn your head to the side for me real quick? Let's see if Dorian has that Charles Johnson fight week hair. Yeah.
Hell no, I don't.
Unfortunately, he is not rocking the Charles Johnson fight week hair. He does not have the energy mullet. But open up our first fight of the night is going to be Perswilla Priscilla Cachoeira taking on Sijara Eubanks at 125, dude. So as of right now on Wednesday, that fight is at 125. I guess we'll see by Saturday what that fight actually happens at, if at all, due to weight misses. So we will start right there. Priscilla Cachoeira taking on Sijara Eubanks, dude. Zombie Girl versus Sarge. I believe that is their nicknames. 12-4 versus 7-7, dude. Interesting fight, yeah. This is one of the fight cards that we start off with people that we know, and we kind of work up to people we don't really know before we get back to people that we know. Usually it's like people that we don't know, and then all right, let's just go from here. We start off right here at Priscilla Cachoeira versus Sarge Eubanks. When, dude, Priscilla Cachoeira's last fight, who did she knuckle up? Was it like fucking Lipsky? She just knuckled up like early, like in the first round, yeah.
Yeah, for Sijara Eubanks.
No, like Priscilla Cachoeira, she just knuckled up
yeah.
first round.
Oh yeah, no, she definitely, yeah, she crushed her.
Where did this come from? I don't know where the hell that came from. And this being right now at 125, dude, I know Sarge has trouble making 125. Can you pull up your odds for me? Because this is what I'm going to be using you for, and I'm going to be interested to know these odds, dude, because Sarge has trouble making 125 a lot, dude. That's why she fights at 135 quite often, dude. And this fight is scheduled for 125. So I'm guessing Sarge misses weight. And if she can't get the takedown on Priscilla, I think Priscilla probably knocks Sarge out, dude. Just going to throw that out there. But if they end up making this some kind of catch weight fight and like 130, I think Sarge probably going to dominate Cachoeira throughout the 3 rounds, just because she does have good ground and pound. And dude, she's kind of a weight bully. Let's be honest. She uses her size a lot. She isn't too good on the feet. Got body kicked by Melissa Gatto. So gun to my head, I got to go Priscilla Cachoeira. How about you, man? What's the odds and which way are you going?
I'm actually looking so I'm on the ESPN app because I told you that Google was kind of acting up. So ESPN actually has some odds placed on these. So I'm using the odds via ESPN. Okay. Right now, they actually have Sijara Eubanks at a -240 favorite. And Priscilla Cachoeira, you can get her plus money at plus 200. And honestly, I think whether Sijara makes the weight or not, I think she has a tough time making 125. So even if she makes it, I think she's going to have a tough time, but I think even if they do a catch weight or something like that, I think that this is a tough matchup stylistically for Sijara Eubanks. Sijara is, as you said, she likes to kind of throw her weight around, but Priscilla also is not a small chick as well. And I think that, she's
even on FanDuel right now, -265 plus 200. Like,
yeah. I don't know I don't know. Could be a good opportunity for some dogs this weekend, especially for Priscilla Cachoeira. So, I think as well Priscilla Cachoeira wins it, regardless of what division it's in. I think Priscilla Cachoeira gets it done.
All right, and
probably decision because she's a little bit of a better striker, but yeah, she might not be able to finish Sarge. Cachoeira gets win though.
All right, just a heads up, this year we are going to try to keep track of all of our fight picks all year long, whether they are good picks or bad picks. We are not going to hide from them this year. I would try to keep track of mine, Dorian. If you try to keep track of yours, if you need a little help reminding, who you picked or whatever, I'll try to come back and help you. But so we are both going for Priscilla Cachoeira. And Dorian, if you forgot, the pick champ is here at the beginning of the year. It was here at the end of last year. This pick champ is like Sean Strickland over here on my channel, dude. It's just here all the time. All right. So
it's coming back today.
The pick champ will be on the line this week, and we will move on to our next fight of Jimmy the Brick Flick taking on Charles Energy Johnson, dude. Interesting fight because we haven't seen Jimmy Flick in 2 years since his Flying Triangle win after he in his first fight in the UFC after the Contender Series. But dude, Charles Johnson, he's good, dude. Charles Johnson's no joke. He's tough, and he seems to get better throughout the fight. We haven't seen Jimmy Flick really out of the first round, and he's had 2 years off, and he's He retired because he was done with MMA. He completed his dream to get to the UFC. So was he training in that 2 years, or has he just been training for the past 6 months, dude? Odds right now, minus 390 Charles Johnson, plus 280 Jimmy Flick. If I'm going to be honest, I think Charles Johnson wins this fight 9 out of 10 times. But am I going to maybe throw a dart at Jimmy Flick by sub? Let's see if we got props on here. No props yet on FanDuel, but I'm keeping an eye on that Jimmy Flick by sub prop. Maybe put $1 or $2 on it. I got Charles Johnson winning though. How you see this fight going, man? I think you're muted, man.
Yeah, well, I had a crying baby in the background, but no, I agree as well. I do think Charles Johnson gets it done. I think that it's a little bit more well-rounded overall, and I think that Jimmy Flick, the time off and then coming back and facing a guy like Charles Johnson, that's a very tough matchup to come in for being 2 years off. And I know he's a little bit of a younger guy, so not that he's in his late 30s, so he's still kind of maturing into his body a little bit. But
32.
32. So yeah, that's still pretty young for the division overall. So and taking that time off, less damage, so could be a good thing for him in the end. But I think Charles Johnson is able to get it done here.
All right, fair enough. We're both rocking with the same picks. I have a hair on me. Both rocking with the same picks the first 2 fights. So up next, dude, we got Daniel Argueta. I believe he's only had 1 fight in the UFC, and then don't really know a whole lot about him. I think he was on The Ultimate Fighter or the Contender Series, one of the two. But against UFC newcomer Nick Aguirre. Dan Argueta is 8-1. Nick Aguirre is 7-0. And this was just announced earlier this week, so super late notice like replacement within the week, dude. This is one of the ones where it's like, dude, I don't know enough about either one of them to make a strong pick, but I got to go with the person that was training for the fight and isn't taking the fight on late notice, and Dan Argueta. How about you, man? 7-0 versus 8-1.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Don't really know too much about either of the fighters, so don't really feel too strong about either leaning. But just got to go with the guy that's in shape. So Dan Argueta, I just had to go with him just cause.
All right, so pretty much going on up to the same one. We got Alan Nascimento taking on Carlos Hernandez, dude. And I don't know if these dudes are new to the UFC, but neither one of them ring a bell. I can't remember either one of those fights off the top of my head. I don't know if either one of them have even fought in the UFC before. So let me see. Let me look at them for just a second.
Yeah, it looks like Nascimento. Nascimento has fought in the UFC a couple of times, and he fought in the Contender Series, and then for Hernandez, he's fought in the Contender Series, so he's had 2 fights in the UFC. Carlos Hernandez has.
Yeah, it is at flyweight, 125. So it is hard to remember all the little dudes 100% of the time because they are in and out of the UFC quicker than, me after coffee in the morning. So, I'm going to go with the 8-1 Carlos Hernandez over the 19-6 Alan Nascimento. Which way you going, man?
Let me take, and I'm kind of same way as you. I'm not super familiar with either fighter, but give me Nascimento here. Looks like got the more experience behind him, and yeah, I think Nascimento looks like him and Hernandez both are fans of split decision, so we could see a split decision come down here at the end.
All right, man. So I guess we only have to have 3, but that's one of our different picks if we need it, dude. But if not, it'll be even better. Moving on up, we got Matus Mendonça, 10-0, taking on Javid Basharat at 13-0, dude. And I don't know a whole lot about Matus Mendonça. I do know Javid Basharat is very damn good. Had to work over our guy, our hometown guy, Dorian, Tony Gravely. But, dude, I don't see anyone beaten by Javid, and that's not currently ranked, dude. But the other dude is a UFC newcomer and 10-0, dude. So, I think he was on the Contender Series. He had blue hair on the Contender Series.
I can't remember, to be completely honest.
Oh no, this is
I
the
seen he had
dude
the
that
knockout.
this is the dude that trains with Charles Oliveira and had blonde hair. Like, and he fights just like him, like where
Oh
he got
yeah,
hit
yeah.
and then. So that being said, dude, I gotta go Javid Basharat. If dude's gonna get hit and just walk forward, Javid Basharat all the way. He is 10-0 though, so we might be surprised. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah, I think Javid Basharat should be able to get it done at the end of the day. He's a little bit more of the proven commodity in the UFC, even though Mendonça does look like that he's a finisher, dude. He got the knockout in the contender series, and he's probably going to come out and look to make a statement, especially coming in on the first card of the year, want to try to make a good impression. But I think Basharat's a very clean striker. Good defense, good distance management, and I think Basharat should be able to get it done, probably by decision. I think he probably dominates from beginning to end.
All right, dude. So moving on up, some more that I'm not too familiar with. We got dude, how many Matusas are on this card? Matus Rębecki versus Nick Fiore, dude. Matus Rębecki on Tapology says he is the #1 lightweight in Poland right now, and Nick Fiore is the #8 welterweight out of the New England area. That being said, I got to go with Rębecki just because you're the #1 lightweight in Poland. You know, all those Polish dudes got that Polish power, as long as they don't leave it in the hotel room. They should be good.
That's like your favorite.
Dude, I can't believe he said that. So Matus Rębecki, Nick Fiore. Nick Fiore 6-0, Matus Rębecki 16-1. I got to go with the 16-1, #1 lightweight out of Poland, dude. But
yeah,
I don't know shit about either one of these guys. Let's be real.
I don't either. And Rębecki did have a contender series fight, but this is Nick Fiore's UFC debut as well. So could be a little bit of the UFC jitters. Rębecki, as you said, very highly touted as one of Poland's finest. So 16-1 against 6-0, man, that's a lot of experience difference.
I'm surprised they sanctioned this, to be honest.
Yeah, that's tough, man. But yeah, I think Rębecki should be able to get it done.
All right, moving on up to some fighters we know a little bit again. Hey, we got Abdul Razak Alhassan taking on Claudio Ribeiro. And dude, if this fight goes out of the first round, I'll be surprised. I think these dudes are one of them is gonna knock each other out, because I do believe that out of Abdul Razak Alhassan's 11 wins, dude,
I think only one of them was like by decision.
All 11 of them have came by first round knockout. Every fight that he's won in the first round, dude. And also I'm pretty sure like the other guy has a bunch of first round knockouts too. First round knockout,
including a nasty one on the contender series.
Yeah, dude. This fight's going to be an absolute banger. I'm going to go with the new guy. What's his name? Claudio Ribeiro. Yeah, the 10-2 Claudio Ribeiro. I have him beating the 11-5 Abdul Razak Alhassan. He's just a little bit older at this point, dude. When he first got in the UFC, he was knocking people out, but it almost kind of seems like as he's gotten a little bit older, maybe he's like settled down and he isn't really going for that kill anymore. Who knows, dude? This might surprise us and this goes to decision. I doubt it, but I see this ending probably in the first round. Claudio Ribeiro. Is that his name? Claudio Ribeiro?
Yeah.
Claudio Ribeiro. Knockout. How about you?
I mean, I don't know if a lot of people would have thought that Abdul Razak Alhassan and Joaquin Buckley would have went to decision, and it went to decision. So Abdul Razak Alhassan is in this weird spot to where you said if he doesn't get a first round finish, he's likely going to get beat by decision. So Claudio Ribeiro, though, super explosive. He had like a savage knockout on the contender series this past season. And yeah, I think that this could be a very explosive fight, but I do think that Ribeiro, I think Ribeiro could get it done by finish or by decision. But Abdul Razak Alhassan has been knocked out before as well. So let's go with Ribeiro. I think he can knock out Alhassan.
We haven't been saying the odds, but dude, I'm just taking a look at them now, dude. What is this boxing, dude? Have you seen the odds right now? Just for a few of the fights, dude.
Oh yeah, like Rębecki and Argueta and hell, even Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson's a pretty damn big favorite.
Even I like the Javid Basharat minus 350 over the 10-0 guy, dude. Matus Rębecki minus 850 over Nick Fiore, dude. And then Claudio Ribeiro versus Abdulrazak Alhassan minus 100 basically both ways. It's
right, that's what I'm looking at now.
108. Doesn't make any sense. And then we move on up to Umar Nurmagomedov versus Ione Barcelos.
Your boy.
You know I'm ready for this one, dude. I'm not a Ione Barcelos fan. I've won money off of fading Ione Barcelos, and I've lost money off of fading Ione Barcelos. I never bet on this guy. I bet on him to lose every time, though, and it's happening this week, dude. You're gonna put a little change on him to win by decision, or at least the fucking go decision, or anything like that? Because I got Umar fight.
Yeah. Umar should be able to win it, and I would say probably by decision too.
Dude, he's minus 900 on FanDuel right now, plus 520 for Ione Barcelos.
Absolutely nuts.
Dude, this opened at minus 200. By the way, that opened at minus 200. I saw it earlier in the week.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know how that would have opened that close, but yeah, people, I absolutely bet on that line and pushed it up to freaking minus 900 now. But yeah, Umar should be able to get it done pretty easy though. So I think decision as well. Those Nurmagomedovs are just hammers, but I am going to be curious to see how some of these guys work without Khabib now, to see kind of how if that changes anything in their mentalities.
Yeah, all right, man. That's for sure something that like we should take account of, unless it doesn't matter. They're just unless Islam's the new Khabib now, he just yells at him. But I doubt it, dude. I just kind of feel like that's gonna make an impact, dude. I just think so. I don't know. I have no proof as to why, just my feelings. All right, so we're both going Umar there, yeah.
Yeah.
So we just have the one different fight so far. We're just so here we go. Now we might have some different ones, dude. We got Ketlen Vieira taking on Rocky Pennington, dude. 13-2 Ketlen Vieira, 14-8 for Rocky Pennington, dude. Ketlen Vieira is good, dude. She's big. I don't think she won the Holly Holm fight, and Holly Holm held her up against the fence, dude. What does Raquel Pennington love to do? Hold chicks up against the fence. Dude, Rocky might win this fight by just controlling Ketlen Vieira, dude. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, she's done it to bigger girls up at 145, dude. Like the Macy Chasson fight, dude. That's a big girl, and she's got strength. She's powerful, and she controlled her. No issues, dude. Call me crazy, dude. Call me crazy, dude. Give me Rocky Pennington winning this fight, dude.
No, I don't think it's crazy. I mean, even reflecting on the odds, like I said, I'm looking on ESPN right now, and Ketlen Vieira is minus 130 as Raquel Pennington plus 110. So
plus 100.
Yeah, super close fight on the odds. So I don't think you're going for anything like outlandish. But I do think that Ketlen, the younger, like you said, bigger fighter, I think she's a little bit more explosive. She gets a little bit wild when she throws her hands, but they do seem to, when they land, they make big impact when she lands. And I think that she's just going to be a little bit more active, and she has a lot of forward pressure that she fights with. And I think that's what, in a lot of these fights where she might not have won in the public's eye, she won in the judge's eyes because she's able to keep that constant pressure. And I think that's one thing that she can aid to help her win this fight, especially with her size advantage against Rocky. And I think Ketlen Vieira should be able to get it done.
Going against one of your favorites there, dude. I know Rocky's one of your favorites at 135, dude.
Yeah, I do like Rocky, but yeah, I can admit that she's also got a.
As she's gotten older, she's kind of went toward this holding you up against the fence style. Aside from she used to lay out some knuckles, man. Yeah.
Well, even in that last fight with her and Aspen Ladd, dude, her and Aspen Ladd like threw leather at one another.
Round 3, yeah. Like at the end of the fight, they started fighting.
Well, dude, no, that dude. If you go back in that fight, Raquel Pennington and Aspen Ladd, dude, they banged out that fight for like most of that fight. So like she has been using a little bit more of her boxing. I think she had to in that fight because Aspen's she's good with takedown defense, and I think Caitlin Vieira is too. I think if Rocky can get the takedown, she will. But if the path's not there, she's definitely not scared to throw leather with anyone.
All right, so Dorian going Caitlin Vieira. I'm going Rocky Pennington in our second different pick of the day. So we got a few more here, dude. And let's see if we can have a different pick right here. Dude, this one I've been going back and forth on all week. Punahele Soriano. You know I'm a fan of the Hawaiian, but he is taking on Roman Kopylov, dude. And slowly Roman Kopylov has impressed me somehow. I don't know why, though, because he's the worst at throwing volume. He never throws. But he seems to have this, like, he has trouble getting taken down aside from the one, what was it, Carl Roberson fight where he got subbed, which going back, it doesn't make any sense because his past few fights, like, he's got a really, really good takedown defense. He's got nasty kicks, and he's got pretty good hands, dude. He's got a good chin. Punahele Soriano, dude, did he get beat by Nick Maximov not too long ago?
I thought he beat Maximov.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I thought because
he lost to Nick Maximov via split decision, dude. Lost to Brendan Allen via unanimous decision, dude. It just kind of seems like it worries me because he can get wrestled, but if he's doing the wrestling, he seems to win usually. However, I don't know if he's going to be able to get Roman Kopylov down. Dude, this one is a true tough one for me to pick on because I'm a Punahele fan. He's got the sick back pose when his fucking traps or his like fucking lats are like under his armpits and they go like way down, dude. He's got a massive back, dude. I just feel like this one's one that I think a lot of people are on Punahele Soriano for, and it makes sense, but I think I'm going to ride with a dog, Roman Kopylov, plus 128 dog, dude. Which way are you going here?
Man. I think he laid everything out pretty good for the most part. I do think that Kopylov, he's got good bounce. He's kind of like it's kind of like the Wonder Boy stance where he's kind of bouncing in and out a little bit, and like you said, super explosive with his kicks. Soriano, he's a dog. Dude's got a hell of a chin. If you're asking me, I think that there's a good chance that if Kopylov is going to be kind of reserved and kind of waiting for Soriano is not the guy that you want to wait for. And I think he can land some big hammers. And I think Punahele can get the finish as well. So give me a Punahele here. I'll take him. I'll take him by knockout.
I like it, man. I like it. Not the worst pick in the world, as I said. I am kind of split on that one. I don't know how it's going to go. Just my feeling. So up next, we got 50K Dan Ige versus Damon the Leech Jackson in the co-main event, dude. And this one, I truly think it's just a little bit of a step up too high for the Leech Damon Jackson. You look at who Dan Ige has like lost to. It's all top contenders, former champions, future champions, champion at the time now, whatever, dude. Damon Jackson hasn't really fought the competition that 50K has. That being said, I just think just a little bit step up. I don't know. I just got 50K winning this, getting back on track in the winning column because I think he's lost a few in a row.
Yeah, he definitely has, and like against guys like Mavzar, Josh Emmett, and then Zombie. So
like people that are challenging for titles, like it's like
right.
Josh Emmett fighting for a title next. Fucking Zombie just now fought for a title. Calvin Kattar fought fucking Max like for the title, So it's like he's only like fucking losing to really, really good guys, like title contenders or future title contenders. People just fought for titles.
Yeah, no, I understand, but I do think at the same time, Damon Jackson he's pretty potent. He's pretty potent.
But in his last fight when he front kicked Pat Sabatini, I think that's the first time fucking Damon Jackson's ever threw a front kick in his life, and he just happened to land it, dude.
Yeah, no, and I mean it did look very stiff, but hey, the main thing was that it got the job done. And I think that yes, Dan Ige has only lost to some of the best, but I can't really go all and reel off all the big time wins that he's kind of gotten as well. You know, Mirsad Bektik, somebody like that. I mean,
That's
other than that, yeah, and I thought he lost that fight.
Yeah,
I absolutely thought he.
split.
I absolutely thought he. Yeah, I absolutely thought he lost that fight. So, no, I can't really go through and list off the names that Dan Ige really beaten. I think that they have the same reach advantage, which is weird, at 71 inches. But Damon Jackson has a 4-inch height advantage over Dan Ige as well. So I do think the size can come into play, especially when it comes to punching up is a little bit harder than it is punching down for Damon Jackson. And I think Damon Jackson's a little bit potent, man. So give me Action Jackson.
Dude, I think he's going back to the leech because the action was just for,
I know, and for his brother in the last fight, I know. I just like saying Action Jackson because it rhymes.
I'm going 50K, probably by knockout. I think Dan Ige shows back up with another finish, dude. We haven't seen this form of 50K in a while, and here it is this weekend against a lower level Damon Jackson. In the main event, dude, we got Sean Strickland taking on Nasruddin Imavov, dude. And if this fight was 3 rounds, Nasruddin all day, even when he was fighting Kelvin, dude, I was like, if this was 3 rounds, he's got it. What throws me off is the 5 rounds, dude. Because round 3 against Buckley, dude, it was kind of worrying, dude. And we've seen Kelvin go 5 rounds. We've seen Sean Strickland go 5 rounds, dude. So if this fight was 3 rounds, I would be a lot more confident in who I'm taking, dude. Tough fight, dude. How many different picks do we have so far? I
think we got 4.
Okay, so how about this? Let's do those last 3 right now. Dan Ige, Damon Jackson, Punahele Soriano, Roman Kopylov, and Kellen Vieira versus Rocky. Those 3 are going to be our 3 different picks for the pick championship right here. This shit's everywhere. I don't know who to pick, dude. I'm going to let you break this down, and let's see if you can convince me off of Sean Strickland winning this fight, because I'm an Imavov fan, but the 5 rounds, dude, is really throwing me off, and I'm just kind of leaning towards Sean Strickland, but I'm not sold. Break it down for me.
The bad part is I actually agree. I think that I think Sean Strickland 5-round experience. I think that he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, coming off of the Jared Cannonier fight, and a fight that was very competitive, and a fight that he felt like he had won. And you can make the argument that he did. One judge did give him 4 rounds at the end of the day. So yeah, I think that he's game as far as taking on a lot of these top fighters. He's got a very weird style, hard to get hit, doesn't really get taken down at all. And I think that Nasruddin, I think that it's going to be hard for him to land the shots that he wants to try to land. And I think, takedown wise, I think it'd be a tough for him. As long as Sean Strickland doesn't kind of get a little bit reserved, sometimes he can kind of sit back and watch his work a little bit. And I think that's where Jared Cannonier was able to kind of take advantage of him in that last fight. But I think as long as Sean Strickland kind of keeps the forward pressure and puts his foot on the gas, I think Sean Strickland gets it done in a decision. I don't think he finishes Nasruddin, but I think that he can, throw good jabs, throw good teep kicks, and I think that he can add it up on a Nasruddin at the end of the day. Not that it's going to be a wash, but I think that Sean Strickland ends up winning more rounds and gets the fight done.
Yeah, man. One fight that just sticks out to me a lot is Sean Strickland versus Brendan Allen, dude. I was so high on Brendan Allen, and Sean Strickland just shit on my fandom of all out Brendan Allen, dude. And I'm worried that the same is going to happen to Nasruddin Imavov, because I'm a fan of him. But, dude, late round 3, round 4, round 5, dude, if we see Sean Strickland start to unload on fucking Nasruddin up against the fence, I'm going to be like, here it comes, dude, because he can knock people out. We've seen it. Yeah. Like, it ain't, dude. Also, this is 205. I keep kind of forgetting that, dude. How good of shape do you think Sean Strickland is in? Do you like, if I can think he's in 5-round fight shape in this 1 week?
I mean, I gotta imagine
Odds
that.
for this card. I mean, what are the odds for this fight?
Right now it's minus
Dead
one
even.
ten, even.
Dead even. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, public hadn't really decided, as far as who they think's the favorite either. But no, I do think that I don't know if Sean Strickland's going to get a knockout. Yeah, he knocked out Brendan Allen, but he's not really the power puncher guy, more just a volume puncher. He just adds it up on you at the end of the day and just outworks you. And I think that's what he'll be capable of doing. And I think that he will be in decent fight shape. He just fought 3-4 weeks ago, so I think he's in decent shape. Probably want to do 205 because I'm sure after the holidays, probably had some good eating, and 185 is going to be pretty tough, but always game, and I think there's a reason he's taking this fight.
All right, man. So looks like we both have a slight lean towards Sean Strickland. I hope Nasruddin wins, though. I love to see Sean Strickland get knocked out. Hope it happens every fight. It just doesn't happen every fight. I love the Alex Pereira fight, though. So our 3 different picks, dude, of the day are Dan Ige versus Damon Jackson, Punahele Soriano versus Roman Kopylov, and Ketlin Vieira versus Raquel Pennington. That is our 3 different picks of the day. We'll put our pick champ up on the line. I am the reigning, defending pick champ. Held it a long time last year. Plan on holding it all year this year. Dorian's going to be over there pouting, sad, crying all year.
We coming this week, baby.
So that is our picks for this weekend's card. We appreciate every single one of you watching. If you enjoyed this podcast, please put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe to the channel. If you are not, leave all your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, Matt, Dorian on the other side of your screen. This is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. Anything before we get out of here, man?
No, man. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna get me some dinner.
I thought you already ate, man. I thought you already ate. You're like, I want to make some dinner. You should have just ate already. That's just been waiting on you 2 hours now. Dorian has 2-hour cold dinner now from how long we've been going on the podcast.
It was pasta, so it's all good.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's always better. You heat it up a little bit in the microwave anyway.
It's pasta, so I wasn't tripping.
But that is going to be all from us here this time. If you enjoyed it, please, once again, put a thumbs up. And we will catch y'all next week, and we'll talk about these past weekends. And I don't even know if there's fights next weekend. We'll figure it out. We'll catch y'all next week. Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. Peace.